After exploring Ljubljana and Bled, we're here in Ptuj and the Maribor region exploring this eastern side of Slovenia. In our 2 years of travels, we've experienced all types of surprises, from getting locked down in Thailand to taking a surprise trip back to the US, and now resuming our travels in Europe. We're Kendra and David Lucas, and our journey through 100 countries to find where in the world we want to relocate to continues in Slovenia. So stay tuned as we show you 15 fun things to do in Eastern Slovenia. And watch to the end to see what our accommodations were like and just how affordable your trip to Maribor could be. All in this episode of Lucas World Travel. Our 2-week journey through Slovenia continues in Maribor, the second largest city in Slovenia. I would recommend starting your visit on the riverfront, enjoying the beautiful views from Maribor's Old Bridge, or Stari Most in the local language. Here you can enjoy seeing all of Maribor's orange rooftops and church steeples, making such a picturesque view. Next stop is Maribor's main square, which is really charming, with City Hall in the center, along with a plague memorial column, built to remember those who died in the Black Death of 1680. The fountain is a lot of fun too. We saw several kids running through it.
So this is where the locals bring their kids to give them a bath.
Perhaps for taking baths, but it was definitely a nice way to have some fun in city center. Wandering through Old Town, we enjoyed stopping at Slomskov Square, which is named after Maribor's first bishop, Anton Slomšek. The combination of the university, the fountain, and the cathedral all make for a pretty picture. Not far away is Maribor Castle, which is also a nice museum as well. It's on a very lively square with the Basilica of Our Mother Mercy just across the street. Then take a stroll to Maribor's City Park, filled with art, fountains, and even turtles. We ended the day at Maribor's Water Tower, a medieval tower built to defend against Turkish raids. Now it's a great spot to feed swans and to enjoy the Dava River.
Okay, so guys, last night was interesting because Kendra rented us an apartment that was really close to town. It was a wonderful place, but it had a bar/club downstairs. So right around evening time, the music began and it didn't stop until the break of dawn.
So it's time for us to work it out because we got a party happening downstairs.
So we were wondering why the place was super cheap. It was cheap because there was a disco and we had to dance. We had to get our dance on because they weren't gonna stop. They had to keep the party going.
Even with limited sleep, we still found our favorite activity in Maribor, climbing up to the city top hill Viewpoint. So we're walking to a viewpoint in Maribor, and it's quite confusing because you never quite know where you can drive and where you have to walk. So you just have to figure it out by trial, error, and a lot of U-turns. So here is the unlabeled footpath up until the viewpoint. Good luck finding it. It's about 10 minutes winding around the vineyard. So We just love how green Slovenia is and how clean it is. It is immaculately clean here. Not a single cigarette butt, not a single piece of paper on the ground. They really take pride in their country.
They do.
This vineyard really does have some beautiful grapes and some beautiful views. Now this view is definitely worth the climb up and the 2 U-turns of confusion we had getting lost trying to get here. Maribor is really a cute city. You could do it in about half a day or a full day if you really want to take your time. So I highly recommend coming out, checking it out. About 30 minutes away from Maribor is the oldest medieval town in Slovenia, Ptuj. So our first stop in Ptuj is the Ptuj Castle, so that we can see these great views of the city and to see some great museum exhibits as well about the local festivals and the local cultures. Let's take a look around. In the Castle Museum, you can see their traditional clothes. So this furry white costume is called a kurant. So according to oral tradition, these kurant chase winter away and bring in spring. These things are so big and beautiful. So they started this festival in the 1960s, and it looks quite fun and popular. Inside the castle, you can see furnishings, some of which date back to the 16th century. So they have well-preserved murals that are just lovely, lovely. And this is an exquisite piece here. There's also a really interesting music exhibit. And what castle would be complete without an armory? So Ptuj Castle was quite nice to go see. They had a nice collection inside, and it's well worth the €8 price. Walking down to Old Town, be sure to check out Ptuj's beautiful city tower, with St. George's Church directly behind it. It's also lovely to see the pink Dominican Monastery, founded in the 13th century. Now, to get postcard perfect views of Ptuj like this, make sure you're by the Pedestrian bridge. You can either cross from the city or park on this side and walk over to the city. It's a great way to either start or end your journey in Ptuj. Now this is not the first castle on a hill that I've seen, but you just don't get tired of views like these. So I'd say you want to allow about 3 to 4 hours to see the castle and to explore the city. It's a small medieval town, so it doesn't take very long to get through. So we're at Amadeus Inn getting some lunch while we're in Ptuj. I got the pork fillet and David got the fish. Let's see how it is.
Really good.
It's super, super good. Loads of flavor. I can highly recommend this place whenever you come to Ptuj. And prices were quite reasonable, with fish for €14 and the fillet for 13. And to end the day, we drove down to Celje to see their beautiful castle. So now we're exploring Celje Castle. This place has fantastic views and a fun interactive area, so let's show you around. For the body. Oh, okay. Oh, that was a good one.
Not too bad, right?
So now we get to try a sample of medieval wine, which has honey, spices, and lime. And it really does taste fruity and spicy.
Okay. The recipe is from 12th century.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's very tasty.
Okay.
kind of like sangria. In addition to the fun interactive part, this castle has some of the most picturesque views that we've ever seen. In the dungeon, they also have a chilling torture chamber. So here we have the most comfortable lazy boy in the world, right alongside the most uncomfortable massage table in existence. It's clear that comfort was not high on the priority list during the medieval times. So now I'll show you around our Airbnb in Maribor. So first we have our powder room. Then we have a fully equipped kitchen. We have a 4-burner stove and an oven, sink, and dishwasher. A place to work, dining table, and on this side we have the full bath. So we have a shower over here, sink, and a washing machine, which we are surely going to be taking advantage of as it's laundry day. Then in the next room, we have a nice little seating area to lounge around in. And underneath the loft area, we have room to sit, chill out, another desk to work at, should we so choose. And then up the stairs is a loft area where we'll be sleeping. So it's a very efficient use of the space right in the city of Maribor. And at $49 a night, this place was affordable, albeit a little bit noisy. Wait to see Maribor. Next, we're gonna take you to 2 of the most popular attractions in Slovenia, the caves and the Ptuj Castle. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell in order to follow along through the rest of our journey through Slovenia. Well, that's our journey, and good luck planning yours.
Whoa! Whoa!